Hi folks, today we're going to be looking at Google Maps. Google Maps. And in order to get there, you can go to google.com/maps and that will bring you there. Now with Google Maps, the first thing that we're going to do, because there are so many things we can do with Google Maps that have to do with location, we're just going to search a location. And so let's just put in downtown Bangor. Okay, downtown Bangor, Maine. Oh, it just changed to Bangor. So it'll give me some choices that came up, but I'm going to just say downtown Bangor and see what comes up with that. So I'm going to search it and see what happens. Okay, it gives me some choices. Look, it gives me photo tours, photos, a street view. All right, it works better when you put in an address. I'll just put in 100 Main Street, Bangor, Maine. Okay, and then I can search it. It'll zoom right in for me. Okay, now you get this. You can see it gives me a basic map. Well, maybe I want to really see what's at 100 Main Street, so I'm going to zoom in. You can keep zooming in more. And the other thing that you can do, maybe you just want to go right in there. Take this little guy here. Okay, I just sort of clicked on him and picked him up, and I drag him over to the spot and see where the green is hovering over, and then I just drop him. And look at that, we get a street view. So you can actually zoom right down, and we've got some imagery. Let's hide that. We don't want the imagery down there. But you can take this little guy here, and you can see what he's seeing. Bring him right down to the street. So that's a photo. We don't really want the photo. But let's just come over here to Hancock Street. Okay, look, you drag him, and there he is. And look, you can turn him around, so you can see all around you. The streets are labeled. Okay, you can even see some people walking there. You want to go over here? You just click. All right, it's really like your own tour. It takes some navigating, but you sort of feel like, look, and you click on the arrow, it'll drive you forward. You kind of feel like you're actually driving down there. So this is a great way to kind of give your students a tour of a place without actually going there. And if you're wondering how this imagery was taken, a lot of it was probably taken from the Google car, okay, which drives around taking these sorts of pictures. Okay, so it's pretty neat. And the other thing that you saw here is some photos, okay, and there are photos that come up about each place, different places in the area. It'll give you a good picture and then some information about the place. So that's pretty neat. Now, if we go back here to our main screen, which is just google.com/maps, okay, what we can see is we have an option for getting directions. So maybe I want to get directions from 100 Main Street in Augusta, Maine. All right. And what it'll do is it'll route it out for me on the map. Okay, it'll tell me how long it's going to take, 1 hour and 9 minutes. It'll give me another choice of routes. Okay, so it tells me I can go that way or I can go this way. But either way, it's going to take 1 hour and 9 minutes. It tells you how many miles it is. It'll list out all the steps of the directions. Okay, which this is so convenient when you're going on a trip or something, but sometimes you have to watch Google because you want to make sure you just read through these directions. Sometimes it'll tell you like hop off the interstate, drive for 7 miles, turn around, hop back on the interstate. I don't know. I think it's kind of a funny trick sometimes that maybe Google tries to play, but you want to just kind of keep an eye on that if you are using it for directions. But I think it's great to use in the classroom for mapping, to actually go to a place, to see a place. And look, this is kind of interesting too because that gives driving directions. There's bus or something, and then there's walking. If you're going to walk, okay, tells you some information about what to expect. There. I was trying to get that screen to come up a little bit higher, but it will tell you by bicycle the route that you should take, how many miles and about how long. And airplane's not a choice for this route. It'll give you some route options. You can choose to have it in miles or kilometers, or maybe you want to avoid ferries. But it's kind of neat. You can go to a full map view of it, and look, it'll show bike paths, because if you want to go by bike, it'll show the terrain, which is kind of neat. So suddenly you've gone from having just a plain a plain map to showing the actual topography. And look, if you drag it along the way, each of these points, you can change the route if you want. Sometimes you'll see there's pictures there that come up. These white dots indicate some sort of picture. Okay, and it tells you that 1 hour trip by car is going to take 17 hours and 40 minutes walking. All right, so that's kind of neat. And then maybe you want to zoom in. Well, let's see if this really is worth the walk. So I'm going to drop my little guy here. Say, all right, let's check this out. Well, there I am, right in the middle of the forest. Well, kind of pretty, but I'm not sure that I want to walk 17 hours along this route. Okay, but this would be great for having students plan out trips, or studying maps, just north, south, east, and west. And from here, you can actually zoom out and really see where in the world you are. Okay, and you can zoom out quite far, actually. So if you just keep going, it'll let you zoom, and you can see the whole United States. And then this is as far as this zoom goes. But for more detail and kind of a more 3D experience, the next tool that we're going to look at is Google Earth. And Google Earth has a lot of the same features as Google Maps, but it's just a more, well, it's a more 3D experience, really, is the way I would describe it. So hopefully you can think of something to do with Google Maps in your classroom, or at least use it for directions to go from one place to the next. So this is Google Maps.